Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Jordan here. Today we're going to continue working on the raised train track here in the Lego City. We got started the other day and wow, is it ever an improvement. You can see we've got it all tiled off there and the new supports look like night and day compared to the old ones. It's fantastic. So I was able to get as far as right here the other day, just behind the Disney train station there. And then also I was able to install a little bit of track right there beside the town hall. But there is a bunch of track right here that needs to be upgraded. And then also we need to work on upgrading all of the track behind the Venetian houses there as well. Because as you can see, the train track comes to a dead stop just right there. So it looks like we've got to do some more construction. Now, the wall panels that cover up that raised platform back here are going to be all modified to accommodate the raised train track. We're not going to be using a support system. Rather, we're going to be adding some arches to those walls. I think the best way to continue working on this project is finish the segments that lead up to those wall panels on either side. So I'm actually going to start right here in the amusement park. Woohoo! I love having trains in the city. Up on the table I go to install these. Oh my gosh, it is such a stretch. But they are pretty easy to install, which is good. Unless like you knock over a bunch of stuff while you're doing it. That wouldn't be good. But yeah, first we're going to put the supports in, and then once the supports are in, I'm able to lay the track. And the track all clips into each other, of course, and then once they're clipped together, I can go through and push it down on those 2x-grade plates that are on top of the supports there, and that just makes it really strong because it locks in all the seams. It also locks in all the supports together. I had to move the roller coaster out of the way because it was hard to reach in there and get this done correctly. I kept breaking things and things kept falling down onto the floor behind the table, so it's sort of a nuisance because this is just a really hard place to reach in the Lego City. So after I get these segments installed, it's ready to move on to the next ones, which actually are right behind the Eiffel Tower here and approaching that curve that goes toward the raised platform. Get that all pressed down, and now I have to create some sort of custom support here because this support goes into the curve. So what I actually do is modify the top of it so that it's like 3/4 studs and some tiles, because the tiles are the pieces that go underneath the curve. And that provides some support to the curve, but the curve, because it's a curve, can't actually tack down to studs, so that's why I have to do tiles underneath. After that's done there, I'm ready to move on to the next segment, which is between the loop coaster and the Eiffel Tower. This one's a bit weird because it has sort of like a curve and then a straight and then another curve, just to get it in line with the raised platform. So there's just a little bit of back and forth, just making sure that everything is aligned correctly. And I'm sure in the end, it'll all have to be adjusted slightly just to accommodate the train track and make sure everything is aligned perfectly. So I've got all the way up to right here essentially complete, although I still need to get the 1x4 tiles to finish off our curves there. And I think I'm going to build the opposite support. You see how they're not symmetrical like the other ones? So I've got to build 2 of those to finish that off there. And I think they'll have a little bit of plate come off the top of them and do tile support underneath the track there just to give this a little bit more support. I'll also have to put a turntable support there so I can get it at the right angle and it can clip into the track, similar to how I did the other one. You'll be able to see it right there between the train station and the castle. So I've got to build 1 more of those for that corner there. That should wrap that up. Then I've got to, once again, make this symmetrical and have a little bit of support coming off of it to support this joint right here. Now this is all one solid piece. So I'm going to tile this all off so it looks like our track. And hopefully tile off the curved sections there as well. Do 1 turntable support right here. And that should support this segment of track leading us to the platform coverings, where it will then convert onto arches going all the way along. Now I need to make the mills plate for this area over here. I just don't have enough of the green plates right now, which is unfortunate. So I've got to figure out what I'm going to do there. I might leave this segment for now how it is up into this point here, because I don't know if this is going to come at the exact angle that I want it to, or at the exact distance away from the wall, I should say. I might have to replace one of these with some flex track to bring it just a little bit further away from that wall, because remember the train, when it came around the corner, it was actually bumping into this. That's why I had to remove the detail there. I just knocked over a traffic light for the 444th time. But yeah, I might leave that there just so I can get the right distance away from the wall. I think I've got to go in front of Town Hall now and finish that off. Just a quick note, I am so excited for a new space hopefully this summer, because reaching this back here, oh my gosh, it was just brutal moving all of this stuff. And when this area is fully detailed, there's going to be even more to move. And I kept dropping pieces behind underneath the table and dropping pieces everywhere and knocking things over. That's just the way Lego is, and that's the way Lego cities are. But imagine if I could access the city from this side here. This would be so easy to install. Like, it'd be just like the ones over here, you know, and it'd be so easy compared to what I'm doing now. Not that I'm unhappy with how the city looks and how easy it is to access, but I just wish that I could walk around this place from all sides, but it's not worth the amount of space that that would take away from the city. When they're symmetrical, they definitely look way better. Now for these supports that go in the middle of the curve, I might change the design of those so they more so match these. I am running low on the inverted arches that go on the bottom of those, so I don't have enough to do all of them. So I'm going to leave that how it is for now. It is attached to the turntable. I guess I should have had it go the other way. Whoops, I should spin it 90 degrees, my bad. But you can see another one over here, and I haven't tacked this one down in spot yet, just because once again I don't have that mills plate. And then what I've done to go into the corner there, here's a better example of this support. I've actually just extended it a little bit, and then I put tiles on the top of it, and it's literally just giving this support like that there. It's pretty strong. So yeah, this area is nicely upgraded, but once again I got to leave this for last. Holy cow, the city's looking pretty hot right now. I'm just kidding, but after a bunch of crawling and back and forth, I think I've got the line safely secured there in front of Town Hall. Yeah, I need to order some 2x3 tiles and 1x4 tiles to finish off the track like I've been mentioning there. And once I do that, it's actually going to make it stronger, because the segments of track where they're connected, they need 2x3 tiles on top. But either way, the train can pass over top of that with no problem at all. So it's still pretty strong, just got to make sure I stop it because the track does end there. So we can go all the way over there, and then we can come around this way behind the amusement park eventually. And everything's looking pretty good. We should be able to make it all the way behind the Eiffel Tower there, I think. To about there. That's as far as we get. Now, the next thing I've got to work on is modifying all those back panels. So I'm pretty excited, because once those are modified, I'll be able to pretty much connect the entire line. However, where they connect in front of the loop coaster and by the Venetian houses over there, there's probably going to have to be some specialized segments just to make sure we get the spacing correct. And yeah, pretty excited about that. It's running pretty smoothly. It's been a long day so far. Just a lot of finesse and tinkering, and exact stud measurements has to go into doing this. So there's a lot of back and forth and trial and error, stretching and reaching, but everything's looking good. So here we go. Let's extract all the panels that cover that raised platform. Luckily, they're all on their own 16 by 32 mils plates, so I can pretty much just slide them out of spot. Specifically, when they're connected, they move as one big unit. Not going to be able to do that anymore when we get the train track installed on these things. So yeah, I've got to get all of these out of the city, and then we are going to customize them so that they have those arches that are going to support the raised train line. So off we go with the construction of these. I had to use a template just to make sure we get it at the same height as the supports on the road. That is very important. Yeah, gotta make sure they're the same height. But yeah, pretty much just changing all of them. They have that large arch on the exterior of them, so there's 2 arches per, and when you actually put them side by side, it creates a 2x2 brick. I really don't mind that pillar coming down off the arch. That's what's gonna provide us the support so the train doesn't go smash. I could do some sort of floating arch system, but I already ordered these arches, and honestly, it looks pretty good when you get them put into the Lego City. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about the overall design that I had going here. And there is one big one here that has to be modified. That is the one with the train tunnel. Train tunnel has to be reduced in height so it matches the arch height, and also I had to add more of the arches that go over top of that train tunnel just to make it look consistent. So yeah, I'm really happy that I was able to sit down and do all of these at once. It's pretty exciting. All the platform coverings are now modified to accommodate the raised train line. Just like that, all 13 platform coverings are done. I like that I made the modification here with the arches more evenly distributed over top of the tunnel, and now the tunnel is the same height as the train overpass, which is really good. Now, in order to install these in the Lego City, I've got to make some more ballast segments here, or whatever you want to call them, tiled off segments, I guess, because we need 13 of them, and we have 7. So I've got to make some more of those, and then I've got to crawl underneath the table, install them all, and then somehow get the connection points to work as well. So there's still a lot more work to do. It's already 4 o'clock. I haven't edited anything. So yeah, I've got to go edit, and that's going to take a couple hours. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get any more done, because I know if I continue, I'm going to want to get it all done. And as always, I left the city an absolute disaster, so I've got to go around and clean up all that stuff as well. But I think I got lots done today. We're ready to finish the install relatively quickly here. So I'm going to get that done tomorrow, and I'm really excited about this. So yeah, pretty awesome. Everybody, thank you so much for coming on by. I hope you enjoyed this update as we continued working on the Lego City. Everything's looking awesome, and I can't wait to finish the install in the very near future. Thanks for coming on by. Farewell.